Okay, hello and welcome everyone. I will wait in order to more people will enter in the streaming. So first of all, as always, I need someone's could confirm me if the sound and the image is good. Uh, Anyone could confirm me this? Hello? Hola? ¿Hay alguien ahí que me pueda confirmar que se ve y se escucha bien? Okay, I'll check this later. If you didn't say me nothing, I think that everything is okay. So in the today's streaming, we need to change some things because we have some issues. So Jaime de Garnica is not making today's streaming. El sonido es bien y la imagen también, espero, ¿no? Alberto, de lujo. Vale, perfecto. Pues mira, Alberto, me parece muy bien que comentes que qué ganas de que salga este Kickstarter. En el streaming de hoy hemos cambiado un poco la temática, así que, bueno, pues como podéis ver un poco por el título y la parte de abajo a la derecha, hoy vamos a tener una temática diferente a los streamings habituales que solemos hacer. Así que esperemos que os guste esto que os traemos hoy. Y bueno, Alberto, para tu información, que esto ya también lo comentaré ahora, el Kickstarter acaba de empezar hace una hora. O sea que está calentito. Y es por eso que también queríamos hoy traeros este otro streaming para hablar un poco de estas figuras que están lanzando nuestros compañeros de Black Sun y Broken Toad. Así que pues nada, ahora mismo miraremos un poquito el Kickstarter que han lanzado y bueno, pues también traeremos algo de material a este canal de YouTube de BitChai para, pues eso, darle un poco de color a estas fantásticas miniaturas que están sacando. Hola Roberto, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. Bueno, vamos a esperar un poquillo entre que llegan rezagados y demás. Así que, bueno. Como siempre, intentaré hacer el streaming en multidioma. De momento inglés, lo que pueda y español. Así que, pues bueno, espero que lo disfrutéis. Okay, in the today's live streaming from Bitchal Creatives, we have changed the thematic of the streaming, and we are covering other stuff because our friends from from Black Sun and Broken Toad are running right now a Kickstarter campaign about Jim Henson miniatures. So probably you already know this Kickstarter, and we'd love to show you some painting stuff from these miniatures, which we think they are wonderful. And let me check the Kickstarter in order to see what's happening right now. And let me change. Okay. So I think you are seeing my screen, and this is the Kickstarter which I'm talking about. So let's make a quick preview of this Kickstarter. Wonderful miniatures from Black Sun and Broken Toad. And of course, the thematic, I think probably if you are from the 80s, you will know very well, because are based in the Jim Henson's films Labyrinth and Dark Crystal. So those are our friends that are running this wonderful Kickstarter. And okay, you could see more calmly by your own the stuff which are showing to us for these weeks. I think we'll be running this Kickstarter. So we love the thematic, and we love to share with you some painting process over one of these miniatures. So in order to have a more variety of material to share with you, we've starting to do some live streamings with those miniatures. So we hope you like it. Don't forget, if you like this kind of things that you are seeing, supporting the project and support these companies that they are making these wonderful miniatures for you. Okay, you could take this more calmly at home by your own. So the only thing that I want to show you is that is running right now, the Kickstarter. So you could check it and let me know what do you think about these miniatures. So I could say to you what I think about these miniatures, because I have one of them here right now, and this is the guy that I will be painting this evening with you. So we hope that you like this new material. We like to share with you the latest news of the miniature wall. And hello and welcome to the newcomers. You are in time because we are starting right now. Hola, buenas tardes a todos los que acabáis de llegar. Todavía no hemos empezado, así que, bueno, pues ya podéis ver un poquito la temática nueva que vamos a estar pintando esta tarde, ¿ok? Así que, pues, esperemos que os gusten esta serie de streamings y no os olvidéis de suscribiros al canal y darle like al vídeo para saber nosotros que os gustan este tipo de materiales y continuar con ellos. O sea que vamos a por ello. Don't forget to like and subscribe the YouTube channel in order that we could know that you are interested in this kind of material, because we like to share with you the latest news of the miniatures wall. And without furthermore, I will start to painting a little part of this miniature that I already started. Sí, sí, Roberto, la verdad es que incluso nosotros tenemos los dientes largos también. La verdad es que nos gustan todas las miniaturas y bueno, solo tenemos unas pocas en nuestro poder, pero bueno, con estas ya nos conformamos. Hola, Isar. Hi, Isar. Me alegro que os guste la mini. Es la verdad es que es una pasada. De tamaño está muy bien, de detalle está perfecta y bueno, pues qué decir sobre el personaje, la temática y etc. Vamos a ver, que no os voy a contar, que no sepáis si os gustan las pelis de las que he estado hablando. Okay, so I already started the miniature. Okay, let me get a little bit of blue tag that have in the back. Okay, ready. And I already started the miniature. I had made some base coating over some parts, and I'll start to adding some lights over some clothes, as you can see. And I have this part more worked. I already did some kind of texture in this cloth. So in the today's live streaming, I will start to paint the face, which I think is more the most important part of every miniature, and in this case is with more reason than other miniatures, because are everything focused on the head. Okay, so I'll start. Choosing my colors for the palette, okay? And the first thing that I always recommend you is that you work with some reference, okay? In order to make an accurate work. And for these miniatures, there are a lot of references. It's true that every reference that I found is based on some screen capture of the film, so probably is very desaturate the image that you can find, and without color. So you need to make some kind of abstraction. Okay, so I will use mainly some kind of blues, turquoise, and this kind of colors in order to achieve a bluish skin tone. Okay. As I always say, if you want to ask me something, don't be shy and shoot, and I love to answer you. Okay, so I'm using a little. I think you are seeing the palette, okay, in far away, but in order to see what's happening with the color, I think is okay. So I'm using a little bit of cyan, some kind a little bit of blue, and I will use something to make lighter colors. This is a light color that I'm always using. I don't have any preference for this color in particular. I could use this one as well or something like that, okay? But I need something light in order to create lighter colors in my mixes. So I'm choosing this one because I think it's the nearest in my desk. Okay, and ¿qué tal, Isra? Buenas tardes. Vale, perfecto. Creo que se ven bien un poco la zona de las mezclas, ¿no? Se ve un poco difuminado, pero es que prefiero que enfoque más en la zona de la miniatura que en la zona de la paleta, ¿vale? Y así no volvemos muy loca la cámara. Okay. So for my previous work, I need to comment that I only did a raw base coating over the face. Okay, it's nothing serious. So as you can see, I did some wet blending in order to achieve some planes of light in in a more lighter blue, and some mixed this blue with some magenta in the shadow parts, and you could see a very dark magenta in the mouth, okay, and some orange parts in the nose in order to differentiate the different parts of the head. So This is my base coating, and it is pretty dark and pretty desaturated. So this is something that I need in order to create some contrast in this part of the miniature, okay? Because I'm adding now lights more saturated and lighter than this base coat. So, in other words, this base coat represents the shadows of the skin, okay? So I'll start mixing these colors. And I'll look for some references in order to find something colorful for this miniature, because in many cases you will find something very grayer. And it's natural because the pictures on the web are taken from the film, so you will find very high ambience in these pictures, okay? I'll try to make something in between the film and the usual way that I paint the miniatures, so probably will be more saturated than in the screen capture. Okay, let me check. Perfect. I have some references here which are nice. Let me show you some example of the things that I'm talking. Okay, so this is some reference that I searched, and I think it's pretty good for have an idea for the color scheme. Okay, so you'll see that it's pretty blue. This is a pale blue, pale turquoise. You could see some skin tones, human skin tones in this area, and in the mouth you will see some magenta, and in the part of the nose you will see some orange tones. So this is something that I have for reference in order to paint my miniature, okay? So having this in mind, I will mix my first color of light. Probably I will add to my palette some orange in order to desaturate a little bit these blues, okay? And make more natural tones for the miniature. And in this step I will add some magenta for later steps. In the part of the mouth will be needed, and in the shadows of the skin as well could be good. Okay, so as I said before, I'm taking some cyan paint, mixing with some blue in order to achieve a nice color for light. But it is too much saturated, okay? It's not a realistic tone. So in order to achieve a more realistic tone, I will add some orange to the mix, which is making some desaturated tone. Okay, now I think it's more desaturated, more natural, but it's still turquoise or blue. Now it's more turquoise than blue. So for me, this is a pretty good color in order to start adding lights to this skin. Okay, so I apply this color only in the light planes, okay, and I will apply this color making some texture over the skin. As you probably know, I'm always making this kind of texture, and see how the color is making a very high contrast over the dark base coat. Okay, here I will making a texture in this flat surface of the face of the head, making some dotting and some lines like this. Okay, now that I have started to paint, I want to know your feedback about the image. Is everything focused and okay for you? Let me check your comments. Okay, I must to say that these miniatures, which are of this size, I don't know the scale exactly, but you could imagine the size, making some comparative with the bottle of paint, something like that, is pretty big. But I found that these sizes for miniatures are pretty easy to paint, to make textures, to enjoy the process of painting, you know. You could paint more things in a bigger miniature than in a 78 millimeters miniature. So if you didn't try a miniature of this size, my recommendation is try this, because your mind will open to new techniques and new ways to paint. Okay, I'm marking the volumes of this part of the head. It's very high textured, and I'm making more texture with my paint. I'm enhancing the texture of the miniature, let's say. Okay, so now that you are seeing these miniatures, what do you think about them? Do you like it? The thematic? As a personal comment, I can see that I love the thematic, because when I was a child, I was seeing these films for my very first time, and you could imagine that my mind was blowing up to see these monsters back to life in the screen of the TV. So in these years, these kind of effects are incredible. Even now, I'm still watching these films sometimes and have some magic in the screenplay. Okay, I don't know what do you think, but the effects of the actual films are okay, but when you make something with Muppets like Henson did on these TV, on these films, there are a plus of reality in the characters. Okay, sometimes I will be out of the camera because the size of the miniatures is complicated to paint some parts without moving too much. So sorry if I for a moment go outside the camera, okay? Just let me know and I'll try to correct the position, okay? So really, sir? Whoa, what's lucky you to work with Jim Henson? Maybe it could be an experience, an amazing experience. Yeah, you were right. Okay, I continue with the skin, and you could see, I hope, that in this part of the mouth is a very subtle texture, and with the paint I will try to define in order to enhance the sense. I will change to a more smaller brush for this kind of jobs. Okay, this is a number one, and these kind of brushes are more suited for detailing. So I'm always working with bigger brushes, but when the work requires some accuracy, I don't have any problem to change the brush. So make sure that you have many tools on your arsenal. In order to have as many possibilities as you can. I want to be very subtle in this part because, as I mentioned before, the face is the more important part on a miniature, because the viewer, the first thing that will see is the face. No matter if you spend 100 hours painting this cloth or the back or something like that, the visual reference point will be always the face. So you need to spend some time in detailing these parts of the miniature and making those parts very, very good looking for the viewer. course, I love to paint these parts of the miniature the most, because I don't know, it's something that I enjoy, making this detailing, and at the end I could make here more work in order to give to the character more personality, you know. If you paint the eyes, for example, in one direction of with um, pointing to depending the direction of the looking of the character, could be different expressions for the character. So this is magic for a painter. You're starting to see the volumes, the definition. Okay. And in this part that I am reaching to the front view of the nose, I will change a little bit my mix, because I want to turn this part a little bit orange, as in the reference picture that you saw before. And to make these color transitions is as easy as to change the color. Okay, so for the nose I will add, of course, a little bit of blue, because the whole face will be almost blue, but okay, I need to add a little bit of orange, this time more than before. Okay, and I achieving some kind of green tone, cakey tone, something like that. Camo green, maybe. That could be okay for this part. In order to achieve here a more orange tone. But I'm using some blue of the rest of the skin, so this is why this is looking natural. Don't use colors straight from the pot, because you'll have problems making them working together. Okay, here a little bit of transition of the colors, and I'll make these lights working together. Okay, I will add a little touch of this color as well in this part, as I saw in the reference. Okay, in order to have more of this color in other parts of the face. The upper parts of the miniatures are the hardest to reach. This is why sometimes you will see the miniature in some strange position. Sorry for that. I hope that you don't miss any detail this painting process, because sometimes people think that it's pretty hard to make a good paint job on a miniature, and I want to show you this kind of tricks in order to be tried for you. Okay, So this is my first light. For this part of the face, okay, I'm doing only one side of the face. Probably I will do the same in the other part, but in order to earn some time for the live streaming and see as much as we can, I only being focused on this part. So this is the starting point, okay, and now we have this. Okay, I worked onto the main shadow light plane, sorry, of the face, but I forgot to make some definition here in the downwards parts of the shadow planes of the face. Okay, so I will add to my previous mix a little bit of magenta, only a touch, in order to desaturate even more the color. Okay, so in this part of the face, I don't want the light lighter than in the main planes of light. So this is why you'll see this color more grayer, but is enough to make some definition in this part. Okay, so this is why I love to play with the color, not make recipes to paint miniatures. You could make everything that you want mixing. If you have recipes, at some point you will be blocked because you don't have probably any recipe for some parts. I'm making some texture here, and of course I love to define a little bit the down parts of the miniatures in this way, even if these are planes of high shadow. But it is important to make here some definition as well. Not too much like in this part, but you'll need some definition as well. Okay, so this is my first light, okay, for the face. And now I will add another light for this part. So I will take again this blue cyan light. Hi Stefan. no, it's not Monday. It's even better. It's Friday. There are things that never will be changed. But today Jaime can't do the live streaming, and this is why I'm here with you. So don't worry, because Jaime will be with you as soon as possible in next week. Sí, Miguel, estas son las figuras. Estamos ya con ellas porque además, pues eso, las tenemos calentitas y aprovechando que acaba de empezar el Kickstarter, pues estamos pintando estas figuritas, que son una pasada, todo hay que decirlo. A ver, ¿cómo? Okay, so I'll continue with the light in the face. So I'm taking this cyan color, very light and very saturated. If I use this color, probably will be okay, but I will need to see how the light bumps. I'll need to start mixing with. I'm looking to my reference. Okay, I will add a little bit of blue in order to make it more bluer. A little bit, only a little bit this time, of orange in order to continue with the natural looking of the blue, because I don't want to be very blue. I need to desaturate a little bit, and I start to adding another layer of light. Okay, this time I will add this light, but in contracting the previous areas that I had painted with the previous color of light. Okay, with this technique you will making a gradient of color of light, and the eye will have the sense that you are making more contrast on the skin. Okay. Isar, I'm curious right now because you said before that you were working with Henson, and if you don't mind the question, what do you have been with him? Okay, in this part I am making very teeny details. Because I need to paint the light in the same part that as I did before, but reducing the surface that I'm painting. Okay? So as you are raising your light, you need to be more precise. Now in some parts you will see that I'm making teeny dots and teeny lines, stripes like this. So this is the way that I build the light on a texture skin like that. Of course, I don't have today too much time, but I will continue making this process on later live streaming in the following days. So don't worry, because we'll spend many time painting these wonderful miniatures. Okay, so probably this is the best part, where you see the thing that I'm talking about reducing the area of the color in the subsequent layers of light. Okay, in this way. I'm not painting the wall surface as I did before. I'm making now little dots, some points like this, and this is making the texture more bumping up. Okay, this is the tricky part, the most textured one, but I think this is the the nicer part of the face. Okay, I will change a little bit. Sorry if I'm making something weird for your point of view. Sometimes when you are painting at home, it's okay that you find the most comfortable position in order to reach to some places. So take your time and look for these positions in order to not harm your back. This is important. When you spend many time painting a miniature, you forget about breathing, your back, and so on, you know. You need to take care about yourself. But don't worry, it's not a dangerous hobby. I'm thinking about these miniatures, yeah, you are right, Miguel. Something nostalgic, because I'm thinking about these miniatures and how these kind of films develop some fantasy imagination in my head. Probably I'm not the only one. I spent my childhood seeing this kind of films, and today I'm a big fan of the fantasy in every aspect. So I'm happy to know that nowadays the fantasy is trending, something like that. People loves this kind of stuff. Okay, in this little part, I'm trying to make the highlining, but not to paint the recesses of these little volumes, in order to create more contrast and more volume, in order to pop up the miniature. Okay, so probably I need another final light. Okay, and I'll making finish the sketch for the light. So for the blue parts of the skin, sorry, I'm adding more white color. It's not white, okay, and the cyan and a little bit of orange. So I using pretty the same mix as before, but I'm using more lighter colors in order to increase the contrast. So now this is only applied in teeny dots in order to create final highlights over these surfaces. Like a tiny spot of light. Something like that. I'm trying to not overdo the effect, okay? Sí, Miguel, he buscado en internet un concept, lo he puesto hace un rato, os lo muestro en un momentín. Que viene a ser, a ver, me estoy basando en este fotograma, o no sé si será alguna pieza de algún museo o algo así. Estoy haciendo una adaptación, porque es verdad que la foto me vale un poco para ver de qué color es cada cosa y tener una idea, pero pero poco más. De color voy a tener que inventar un poco hacia dónde lo quiero llevar. ¿Ok? About the question of Stefan Ruben, how long have you been painting miniatures? Okay, many years, Stefan. This is the good part of this hobby. If you like it and if you are not in a hurry, it will be for the whole life. So I started to paint miniatures in my early days when I started to play games like Hero Quest. Probably I was 16 years old or something like that. And from that point to now, I continue painting miniatures. I had some gaps in my life, okay, so I didn't paint miniatures for a while, but later I have retook the hobby, and this is when I started to paint in a professional way. I love to post my first miniatures ever Sunday because I found them and I start to love when I saw those miniatures, but I love these blast from the past. Okay, I'm detailing. Sorry, I'm on the camera. Oh, I don't know. As I said before, probably this is the part of the miniature which I want to be more careful and precise. This is why I'm making this definition, this detailing onto these volumes. I know that probably making this kind of definition is boring for you. It's not good for the viewer. But I think that you will find this thematic pretty useful in order to try them in your miniatures. How to define this kind of textured skins, and I think it's not only for skin. You could define a lot of materials in this way. Okay, you have started to see the miniature more detailed. Oh, sorry. I'm out of the camera again. Sorry. You don't miss anything new, okay? I'm continuing with the detailing process. Okay. Sorry for that. But it's true that the higher parts of these big miniature are the hardest one to reach in a comfortable pose. So this is, I need to move in a little bit. And probably you are seeing that I'm touching a lot of the miniature with my fingers. This is needed for me in order to achieve more precision in my brush strokes. Okay, so to paint miniatures you don't have you don't need a very good I don't know how it's said, handshaking, okay? You don't need to be good as a sniper, okay? The only thing you need is a very good brush with a sharp tip and create some point of contact with the miniature in order to have more precision in your brush strokes, like I'm doing right now. It's more easy to have precision taking the brush in this distance from the results, okay, from the results, and making some point of contact with the miniature than making this like a canvas painter, okay? You know, painting in this way, you can't have any precision in this way. Hello, Miguel. Welcome. Don't worry, you could see the video later. We are making this stuff right now live, but later you could take all the videos in our YouTube channel, which I hope that you like the material which we are uploading during these days of isolation, that I hope everything goes fine for every one of you. And if these videos encourage you to paint during these days, we'll be very grateful to know that. Because at the end is the purpose of this material is to show you how to enjoy these miniatures. And today, as you are seeing, we are painting different stuff than the other days. I know probably this character needs no presentation. He's the Scroll Keeper from the Dark Crystal movie. And this miniature, as a reminder, is from a Kickstarter which is running right now, our friends from Broken Toad and Black Sun. Okay, I'm changing a little bit. It's okay if you do that in this kind of textured skin. I'm changing a little bit the color of these final highlights in some parts in order to make some variety. In the miniature. Later we will add more tones with the glazes, with the high brush or the brush instead, and at the end I will have something full of color and vibrancy. It's important to keep the viewer happy. And color, contrast, harmony are things that are pretty interesting for the viewer. Okay, I'm almost out of the camera again, sorry. Okay, I can, here in Spain are making the ovation to the professionals of the health, so I can't clap on my hands right now, but I'll do it later. So my admiration for these professionals. Okay, and I left some parts for the end. I love this miniature. After spending 1 hour painting the detail, I must to say that is a great miniature to enjoy and to make a very nice job with this one. The detail is so well detailed. And for a painter, this is pretty important. Okay. So I'm almost finishing this step, and I am afraid that I'll continue this part of the miniature in next live streamings, but this is the way that I'm working these parts. Okay, I'm holding my breath in order to have more precision. Okay, so no, Stefan, the paint, the only risk that you have when I put my finger onto some parts of the miniature, the only risk is that you put the finger and put many times, or move the finger through the surface. This will create some let's say satin finish on your paint. So this could be a problem, because if the part of the satin finish for your fat of your fingers is already finished, okay, if I start to make this movement over the head, this will be a little bit satin. This finish is weird for the miniatures, but with a good priming and taking care, because you are not making this with the paint, you don't chip the miniature, the paint of the miniature, okay? In the higher, okay, but this is okay, if the paint is chipping on the more raised parts of the miniature when you touch it, maybe is because the priming, I usually prime my miniature with a spray. Okay, I always prime my miniatures with Games Workshop spray, and for me it's fine. I need to make some scratch in the miniature in order to quit the paint. Okay, so you start to prime the miniature with spray, you don't have any problems at all. Okay. So I'm finishing my sketch of light for the face. So I think that probably in the next live streaming of this series of miniature from the Dark Crystal Kickstarter and the Labyrinth Kickstarter from Black Sun and Broken Toad. The next live streaming I'll start to detail the other parts like the eyes, the teeth, the mouth, and so on. So I hope that you are enjoying this evening. Okay, and only I need to make another mix for the nose, more orange and more lighter. Okay, something like that, more lighter than the previous light. Okay, something like that. And as I did in the other parts of the face, only teeny points. I'm starting to define more through this part with this color. Okay, I will make here. Probably you could paint this face unglued to the body, and will be more comfortable for you to reach to some parts of this face. But I love to paint the miniatures already mounted, because I have every time a sense of what the light is going on in every part. If I paint this part of the miniature separate from the body, maybe I could make some lining in this part and a different lining in the body. But if you are used to make to paint in different in separate parts, the miniature is okay. Just make sure that these weird lining effects don't affect the miniature, and is everything okay? Okay. And I think little light point here will be nice. I didn't glue the glasses of this character, which comes in transparent resin, okay, because I don't want to paint the transparent resin, but in the last step I will add these glasses, and the effect onto the miniature will be incredible. Okay. So I am adding little touches with this bright and light orange color in some parts in order to make some connection between the different parts of the skin, you know. I talked before this kind of tricks. So it's important in order to achieve some harmony in this part of the skin. And later I will add in some tones to the whole skin in order to reinforce those kind of effects. Okay, I need a little bit of light, strong light here in the eyeball. In order to remark this part. Okay. So, okay, I'm retouching over and over, adding more detail, adding more light, and the process could be endless. So, I think that we hope that we'll spend a nice time this evening together. I hope that you have enjoyed the live streaming and find these tricks and advices useful for you, and that you have enjoyed as well the new Kickstarter that we are presenting this evening from Black Sun and Broken Toad about Jim Henson's miniatures. So if you don't know, I must to remind you that this Kickstarter is now live, and if you want, okay. Sí, correcto, Charlie. Es del cristal oscuro, es el Scroll Keeper y es justo lo que estaba hablando ahora. Es de un Kickstarter que está justito ahora, acaba de empezar, de Black Sun y Broken Toad. Y ahora os lo iba a mostrar un poquito para que también, bueno, le echéis un vistazo ya vosotros con más calma, pero bueno. Así que esto es para lo que ha dado la clase de pintura de hoy, así que continuaremos próximas entregas con más partes y desarrollando también un poco el trabajo de hoy. ¿Ok? So let me take a look to the Kickstarter which I'm talking about, because some of you are asking about, and this is the Kickstarter. You could Google that, Jim Henson's Labyrinth and Dark Crystal collectible models from Black Sun and Broken Toad. We are so happy to collaborate with them, painting those beauties, and don't forget that we are making these live streamings each Monday, Friday, and Wednesday. Okay, I almost forget the Wednesday. So we will be making live streamings on miniatures from this project, which we love, and we hope that you like this new material. So this is everything for today. So spend a nice weekend. We hope to see you again next Monday and at the same hour that every day that we are making live streaming, the same hour as today. And please don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel and support, of course, the project of the miniatures of Jim Henson, which is running right now. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on Monday. Bye bye.